Yeah. Is my mic open? Okay. Hey, Sam, now that it's really here and upon us, I've got kind of a two-parter. What's it been like preparing for a team that you were, with last year? And secondly, what do you expect from them offensively with a new coordinator in Monken? What kind of concepts and the quarterback situation?
Well, going against Georgia, we know what great talent they have, and obviously how well they're coached. They're certainly a big football team. They're built for the SEC. What they're going to do on offense, we're really not sure. They may piece a little bit in from Ole Miss, a little bit from Southern Miss, a little bit from the Browns. We're doing a little bit of all that, and we're trying to be prepared for a lot of different places that Monken's been to. Obviously, their O-line coach has had experience in read and gap scheme reads, and so we're just trying to prepare for everything from the Browns all the way to Southern Miss and Ole Miss.
And their quarterback situation, it looks like maybe Mathis might get the first snaps. Have y'all got a sense there?
No, I haven't had a personal conversation with Kirby and ask him who he's going to start. I mean, I think you're guessing as much as we are. But I can guarantee you or us or anybody else going to know who that starting quarterback is from Georgia until he runs out there. And that's Kirby's belief, and that's what it should be. If that's what he believes, that's what it should be.
Nate.
Sam, is there a contrast in styles in the two quarterbacks as far as how your defense prepares?
Absolutely. I mean, with JT Daniels, I mean, you go back and watch the Fresno State game from last season. I mean, he's just throwing darts and can throw at any angle. He's a shortstop. He's a right fielder. He can do anything he wants with football. And of course, DeJuan, I was there at Georgia with DeJuan, and we know what kind of arm he has. But he would be maybe a little bit more of a dual threat, because he certainly can run. He can actually fly. He's really fast. And to be honest with you, guys, I'm really excited. If he plays against us, I'm excited. I'm excited for him because he had surgery that might not allow him to play, and he's come a long way. And certainly we're not wanting to play against him because he's such a talented young man, but I'm certainly thrilled that he has been cleared and is ready to get his football career back on course. Wonderful kid.
Scotty.
Hey, Coach, looking through the depth chart for this week, I see a couple of young guys, Miles Slusher and Kari Johnson. They're in your two deep. Just what did they show you in camp for you to put them there?
Well, Slusher has been a mature, athletic guy ever since he walked in the door, and really excited about his future here. He's a physical player, very knowledgeable, well coached out of high school, and he got speed. So those things certainly is why he's in our two deep. And who else did you say?
I believe it was Kari Johnson.
Yeah, Kari, very talented, good man coverage corner. Again, in order to get on the field early as a freshman, you have to be mature, you have to be smart, you have to understand schematics, the game. And again, he was well coached in high school too. But both of them are very mature for their age.
Nikki.
Coach, how are you feeling about the veterans versus the youth on your team in the two deep? And you have a lot of youth on your offensive line, so how do you feel about that? And you have Noah Gatlin as a backup at both spots, so what have you seen from him?
Well, Nikki, to us, they're the best players we have. So it's not necessarily, you know, some of them will, you're right, some of them will go out there and it'll be their first time to be in front of the Razorback fans, but they're the best players we have. And certainly we're trying to get confidence in them so they'll be ready to get out there. But Gatlin's done a nice job on both sides, left and right. Obviously, we're giving him an opportunity to start at right tackle, but he certainly can play both spots. We are young, we understand that, but young's going to get better faster than old. So we feel like we've got him in the right spot.
Sam, I know the game's, you know, played on the field, not in some Las Vegas sports book, but you guys are 24-point underdogs. And I don't know if you watched Kirby's deal today, but I wrote this down. Somebody asked him, the schedule really picks up after this game with tough SEC opponents. And then they were asking about important to set the tone for more difficult games down the road. I don't know, is that, what do you think when you hear that and being such a big underdog? Is that something you use to motivate your team?
Well, it's the first game, new coach, new players. We shouldn't need anything extra to motivate us. Kirby Smart, I promise you, is preparing for us as hard as he would Alabama. That's his makeup. Very, very outstanding coach, and he'll have his team prepared to the max, regardless of what the point spread line is. But if we need motivation, it won't come from anybody's comments. It'll come from inside.
Dudley.
Coach, obviously it's been a strange situation with the pandemic, but you've been able to get such a good recruiting class going, even without a lot of these guys having been able to, get on campus. What's been the keys for your staff doing that, and how do you keep it going, and what can you do during the fall and when they're not able to come to campus and at least interact with y'all?
Dudley, I think it's just continue to do what we're doing. Obviously we can't do anything person to person until at least January. I think I'm very fortunate to hire a good group of recruiters, and recruiting is constant interaction. And I think our guys do a really good job with that. And I think they're believable because they are just who they are. It's not a fake persona of who you may be one time and somebody else the next. And I think kids and families have enjoyed that part of our coaching staff. We still have a few more to go, so that we're really concentrating on that and continuing to try to get the 2022 kids.
Carlos.
Coach Carlos Chica with Azteca America. It's a first year here as a coach. Two things. How nervous are you about the first game, and how worried about the first game?
Well, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was nervous. I think, but I'm nervous. I was nervous when I was an O-line coach too. Nervousness comes from just making sure that you're prepared in every way you possibly can be. And a guy that's probably not nervous probably won't be quite as prepared as he needs to be. It being against Georgia, never in my wildest dreams when I took the job that I think that Georgia would be the first opponent, but it is. And, I want to say this, that I'm very, very thankful and grateful to have had the opportunity to coach at Georgia and to coach under Kirby Smart. I learned a lot, and he was very, very good to me. When I was a kid, I graduated in 1980, and that's the year that Georgia won the national championship, and there was always something there about Georgia. And then when Kirby gave me the opportunity to go there, and coached there for 4 years. It was an incredible experience for me. And without that, I wouldn't be the head coach here at Arkansas, nor Mel Tucker at Michigan State. So forever grateful for that. However, am I nervous? Yes. And why? Because they're really good. I mean, they're an outstanding football team, and they're big, and they run to the football, and they'll knock you off the ball. And on both sides of the line of scrimmage, they're as probably as good as any team that will play this year. And so it's going to be a physical football game, and you're always concerned when you know it's going to be a smash mouth game. Are you ready for that yet? And certainly we'll find out.
Touch.
Yeah, Coach, you had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, that Blaine Toll was really rising up the depth chart quickly, and you've got him listed with an or with Hudson. Do you think it really helped him focusing in on the one position instead of switching back and forth between sides of the ball? And what kind of does he bring to the table versus a Hudson Henry?
Well, I think it helped him. Our plan, we had him at tight end, and then we didn't get the numbers that we thought we would over on defense, so we moved him over where we originally recruited him at. And then we found out that we probably need a little more depth in the tight end room. So we moved him back. He's been there now for I don't know how long, quite a while, and he's doing well. I think we have got the game plan where he'll know what to do because he does have a lot of speed. He's probably a little bit faster than Hudson would be, but Hudson's really had a good couple of weeks, so I'm feeling better and better about that tight end room.
Hey, Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, I was wondering if you could just talk about what you guys have coming up this week in terms of practice schedule. Some coaches practice Monday, some don't, some practice Tuesdays. Just how you guys kind of have it laid out.
And we'll have full padded practice today and tomorrow, and then we'll go in shells Wednesday and Thursday and have a walkthrough on Friday. Each day the time at practice will go down anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the day. But we'll do our banging a little bit here Monday, Tuesday, and back off a little bit as far as physicality on Wednesday and Thursday.
Jason.
Hey, Coach, we all know this is a line of scrimmage league. Their defensive line, how critical is it to hit them quick and try to move them a little bit to get what you want to do offensively? And then flip side, their offense, you recruited a lot of those guys, coached them. What do you know about their line and what you need to do defensively?
Their D-line starts with Jordan Davis. I mean, he is a big, athletic, great guy, by the way, but just a big, athletic guy that hard to move, But their D-line with Devontae White, Malik Herring, and Travion Walker, and Aziz Ojulari, they're really good. They're really big, so we're going to have our hands full. We're going to try to find ways to double team them. We're going to have to, and then we're going to have to at least get a stalemate on some one-on-one blocking situations, and hopefully we can move them a little bit, and hopefully we can tire them out. They've got a lot of guys that can move in and out of there, so very, very, very talented, well-coached defensive line. On the O-line, even though they lost several starters, they have a lot of guys that's played a lot of ball there, starting in the middle with Trey Hill, probably as good a center as there is in the country. And then, Jamari Sawyer's played a lot of ball, really good player, draftable kid. I mean, just really good football player. And then Justin Schaefer is going to be at the left guard probably, and then Ben Cleveland, who started a lot of games, who's a freak of nature, at 340 pounds. And then their right tackle, I don't know exactly what they're going to do at right tackle, but Owen Condon's from over here in Oklahoma, Xavier Truss, somebody in there. They're going to be as good as anybody else on both sides of the ball that we play.
All right, let me know if you've got more questions in the chat. Tom?
Hey, Sam, we've been wondering where will your coordinators be positioned on the field? Who'll be up, who'll be down, and who'll be up with them?
Well, used to, on the headsets, you'd have 3 or 4 guys on the headsets. Well, now it's like 15, you know. So I don't know who all's going to be up with them, but Barry will be up and Kendall will be down. The rest of the coaches, I didn't bring that. We'll have plenty on the headsets. I know that.
Jordan Black.
Hey, Coach, I know you talked about maybe nerves come Saturday, but what will the emotions be like just taking the field as head coach for the first time in this league? And maybe do you have any game day rituals that you kind of want to put in place here, something that you've always said, I want to do this when I'm a head coach?
No, I really don't know what the emotions will be, you know. I'm really looking forward to running out there with the football team. I know that because we've got a lot of work still yet to do, but by Saturday, I feel like we'll be ready to go out there and play hard and see what happens. But I really don't know how to be. My family will be here, you know. It'll be kind of a neat deal. You know, I'm the head coach at Arkansas. It'll be a heck of a day.
Sam, you know, everybody thought Georgia's quarterback was going to be, I guess it was Newman, the guy from Wake, and then he opted out. How big a surprise was that? And do you guys have a sense for who they're going to start, or do you really not know?
No, we really don't know. I know that they played both JT and DeJuan in every scrimmage, you know. So was I surprised about the opt-out? Yeah, a little bit, you know, but, you know, Georgia's got some good quarterbacks. So I think they're loaded enough to where it won't bother them too much, you know. I understand the opt-out and the reasons and all those things, but they're still loaded with at least 2 really good quarterbacks. So I really don't have any idea who they're going to play for sure. They're probably going to play them both.
Nate?
Sam, do you feel you've got everything accomplished that you expected to for the preseason camp? And was there anything going to this game that's actually better than you anticipated during the summer?
No, I don't know if it's any better than what we thought we might get. And a big reason that's been COVID. I mean, it's hard to get continuity and things of that nature with quarantine and COVID and all these type things. So I think if it wasn't for that, I think we'd be right on schedule. But we're not the only team in the country that's affected by that. Everybody is. So I think we're probably about as far along as we could possibly be in our situation.
Yeah, Coach, you've already talked a little bit about their D-line, but Georgia's defense as a whole, I think I saw one metric that had them as the top defense in the country. What are your overall thoughts on the defense, and are there any weaknesses?
My thought would be that whoever said they were, they're correct. They run, you know, Monty Rice, their linebacker, you know, they have a lot of really great players, but Richard LeCount runs that defense along with Monty Rice, and Eric Stokes is such a great cover corner, and they're just really, really talented. But the thing that they do as good as anybody in the country is they run the football, and then when they get there, they're going to let you know they're there. So we're going to have to outstrain them. We're going to have to try to be physical. We're going to have to do all these things that they're going to do because they're going to try to come in here and intimidate us. It's what they're going to try to do. And I know that because I've coached there for the last 4 years.
Jason.
Hey, Coach, with their offensive changes, you know, they talk about the air raid, people throw that out there. How do you prepare for that? I know you're preparing for different quarterbacks, but how do you prepare for an offense that's different than when you were there and kind of the personnel and knowing what they're trying to do with that offense?
Well, the great thing that we have is we have our own offense. So, you know, that will help us prepare a little bit closer than if we were just a totally 12 personnel team and go downhill and hit you in the mouth. So I think that part of it has helped us prepare a little bit. And then certainly we have different segments of scout work right now that we're trying to prepare for the different schematics and the different quarterbacks that we may see. Therefore, you won't get as much reps. You won't get as many reps against what they're certainly going to do than you would to prepare for everything. And so that's always the thought behind not naming your quarterback, not, you know, all those things. One is you probably don't know who it's going to be yet. And two, the opponent has to prepare for 2 or 3 like we're doing for Georgia right now.
Harry?
Yes. What's your well, with playing quarterbacks, do you plan on playing both quarterbacks, the starter and the backup, just to make sure they get a little experience, or is it just going with one, or is it just depend on how the game goes?
Well, we're just trying to win the football game. So if Felipe goes out there and he's playing well and all those things, and we continue to play well, then we may have a package for this guy, a package for that guy, things of that nature. But again, there's a reason the guy's a starting quarterback, and that's the guy that you want out there. So we don't really have any, hey, we're going to play this guy at this time or that guy at this time. We're trying to play our best quarterback and try to win the football game.
Hey, Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, how long exactly have you known that Felipe was going to be your starting quarterback? Was there a moment, or how did that come about for you?
I don't know. He's been running with the ones basically ever since he got here. So, I mean, we don't get up in front of our team and announce who the starting quarterback is, you know, because we don't announce who the starting center is. So he's been running with the ones. So I think been a while, Trey. Been quite a while that we think he's going to be the guy that takes us out there and gives us the best chance to win.
Couple more, Bob.
Sam, obviously you and Scott Fountain know a lot about Georgia, and you got a lot of guys on your staff from Missouri and Kentucky that played Georgia every year. How much does that help your prep, for this game?
Well, I think it would help us a little bit more on offense, understanding what they're trying to do on defense, simply because Kirby and Dan Lanning have been there. They were there last year. So we would anticipate, because they had so much success, that they just do what they've been doing. On offense, it'd be a little harder because it's a new coordinator. On special teams would be the same because it's a new special teams coordinator. We obviously know their talent, and we've talked a lot about how good their talent is. But it'd be a little bit easier to at least know where they're lined up on defense. Now, blocking them and running by them will be the problem that we would have.
Last one, Jason.
Hey, Coach, wide receiver separation's been an issue in the past with some of these guys. How have they done in camp, and how good do you feel about them getting separated from Georgia's receivers or Georgia's corners and safeties in the game?
We're getting better in that area. Separation comes with speed, you know, and I think we're a little faster football team than we were, but certainly anybody who presses you, you know, that's the number one thing. Can we get away from this guy? Can we get off of him? We'll see, but I think we've done a lot better the last couple of weeks of getting separation on one-on-ones than we were before. So we'll have to wait and see. I know Stokes and Lewis Seen are really good corners and are great cover corners. So we're going to be going against some of the best. So we'll see how it works out.
Thanks, Coach.